Madam Speaker, I commend this bill to the House. Thank you.
Speaker.
I call Ian McKelvie.
Don't think I can mess this one up. Madam Speaker, I just want to first of all start by thanking my colleagues on this side of the House, all of whom interestingly are ex-local government, and of course Paul Eagle is a local government person as well. So it's interesting that those people with experience in dog control authorities have done most of the speaking on this bill. I also want to just pay a small tribute to Jackie Dean and the Honourable Jackie Dean and the Honourable Louise Upston, who did spend quite a bit of time angsting over dog control stuff in the course of the last Parliament, and probably the one before as well, because it is a pretty emotional topic, dog control. People get very het up about their dogs. So they spent a bit of time and certainly brought the idea for this bill forth. So I want to congratulate them and thank them for that help. In the course of the speeches made tonight, I want to comment on a couple of things that Ruth Dyson said, because she did say, and the Honourable Ruth Dyson, and I think one of the things she raised was again raised by Paul Eagle and by Denise Lee, and that was the potential for training of JPs and the training of people who take place in this. And I did make a point of asking the Minister about that, because I had some concerns about that myself. And I'm sure there will be, if it's made not only in the event of this bill passing, but in the event of a lot of other things going on in New Zealand at the moment, to strengthen our JP situation. And there was some criticism of JPs, I think, that came from the Greens not being trained. Well, JPs goes through quite a significant training process, and they may well not be trained as lawyers, but they definitely are trained significantly in the judicial roles they take, and so that's a pretty strong point in their favour, and I think they've done well. Mark Patterson, in the course of his speech, really just summed up. He called it a dog's breakfast. I couldn't believe that. He did sum up, though, why we have select committees and why all bills should be sent to the select committees, because almost all the issues he raised will come up in the course of a discussion around the select committee table, and those issues will be resolved at that time as well. I can't really say anything about the Greens' contribution, except to offer them another one of the Barry Crump specials, and that's never kick another man's dog. Madam Speaker, there is a number of other issues raised in the course of those speeches, which I think will be well and truly dealt with during the course of the select committee process, and I look forward to that select committee process. I also think Kieran McAnulty raised the issue of scope of the bill. I think this bill is a simple bill. It deals with some pretty simple issues, but it also does have, I guess, some potential within those Category 1 offences for some quite serious offences to be dealt with in this manner. And I don't agree with the Greens' summation of that, because I think that this process that, in the event of this bill passing, the process that these Category 1 offences will follow will be well and truly dealt with, and dealt with very adequately by the people concerned. I don't think you have to be a judge to make a decision on simple cases like this, because they mostly are simple cases. And so really I just want to sum up by thanking everyone for their participation in the debate tonight. I've got a very lucky tie on. I had to steal it back off Paul Goldsmith because he stole it off me. But I did wear this tie the last time I had a bill in the House as well, so it must be a lucky tie. It's got dogs on it, though, interestingly, not the... yeah, exactly. And so Madam Speaker, I don't really have anything else to add, but I look forward to the discussion on this bill as it moves on its way into the Select Committee, and hopefully it will come back here for further debate at a later stage. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
The question is that the motion be agreed to. Those of that opinion will say aye.